Hey guys! So as you know, I recently finished my first year at university, and so today I thought it would be fun if I shared with you guys some of the things that I learned while I was there. Honestly, this past year has been crazy. I feel like so many things have happened since I started university, and I feel like I've become a completely different person because of it, yet I'm still mostly the same. It's just I definitely feel like I've been through a lot, and so yeah, I've learned a lot of things, and so I thought I would share some of them with you, and maybe you guys can take something away from this. Maybe you'll learn something new. I don't know. I just thought it would be a little bit of fun, so I hope you guys enjoy this video. So one of the first things that I learned when going to university is that people don't care what you wear. If you guys watched my What I'm Nervous About Before Uni video that I made last year, then you know that one of my main concerns was trying to decide what to wear every day. But when you get right down to it, no one really cares. I think depending on the person that you are, you might actually care what you wear to university, or you might be one of those people that doesn't really care, because honestly it doesn't matter what you wear because you're just going to and from class, so people won't expect you to look really good all the time. But props to you if you're one of those people that dress up every day and do their makeup. I don't know how you do it, but I can't do it, so props to you if you do that. But honestly, no one really cares what you wear, so I suggest wearing whatever you're comfortable in to go to uni. The second thing that I learned during my year at uni, by the way, these are in no particular order, I literally just wrote them down as they came to me, but the second thing that I learned was that no matter how quiet you think you're being, people will always know when you leave a lecture early. Now I'm not saying I've ever left a lecture early because I'm a good child, I stay at all my lectures, but definitely whenever a bunch of people leave a lecture early, it is very noticeable. Everyone can hear everything you're doing, and the lecturer can probably see you leave the room. Not that it matters to them anyway, because really it's your choice if you want to be there or not, but I'm just saying that even if you think you're being discreet, everyone can hear you. Another thing that I learned during my first year at uni was not to dismiss the people that I talked to during Freshers Week. So if you don't know what Freshers Week is, it is basically the week before classes start at university, and there's a bunch of events going on to help you settle into university life, and also to get you to make friends and get to know people and stuff like that. And one of the things that always happens is that you're going to talk to a lot of new people, and one of the things I wanted to say is don't dismiss the people you talk to during that week, because you could actually become really good friends with them. I know that there was a couple of girls that I talked to during Freshers Week who I'm actually really good friends with now. So yes, mingle and talk to people, but don't dismiss them and act like you're never going to talk to them again, because they could end up being your best friends. And another thing that I learned to go with that lesson is also that it is okay if you don't end up talking to those people from Freshers Week again, because there are some people that you talk to maybe like on a night out or something, and they're really nice people and everything, but don't feel bad if you don't talk to them ever again, because again, that's another thing that happens. Okay, so another thing that I learned during uni is that there will come a time where you will eventually sleep in and miss a lecture, because truth be told, that has happened to me a couple of times, and it's not the end of the world if that happens. I mean, to me it kind of was, because for me, studying this subject, I've never studied before. I wanted to go to all the lectures to learn new things and stay on top of all my work and things like that. So missing a lecture for me wasn't ideal, but even if I did miss a lecture, it's not the end of the world. A lot of lecturers now put their notes online so you can catch up from them, and you can also ask your friends to take notes for you if they actually made it into the lecture. So it isn't the end of the world if you sleep in and miss a lecture, but I don't recommend that you do it because it's not really a good habit to keep up. Something else that I learned during the school year was that things were not going to click for me right away, and that I was going to have to work at them. So if you're one of those people where when you learn something new it comes instantly to you and you just know how to do it, that's great. But for me, that wasn't always the case. So whenever I started programming for the first time, it was really intimidating, and I feel like going into uni, it's a different learning environment. Like, when you go to lectures, the pace is a little bit different than it is in secondary school, so maybe the lecturer won't go as slow as you're used to when teaching. So I felt like I was just getting a lot of information thrown at me, and so I actually had to go and take time to learn that separately, and so that might have to be something that you do during uni. So I feel like this next thing is something that everyone learns when they go to university, and that is not to spend your student loan all in one go. So when you apply for university, I don't know how it's like in every other part of the world, but for the UK, when you apply to university, you also apply for student finance, and they give you a student loan, which is money to pay your tuition fees and also spending money for like textbooks and things like that. And that money comes into you every semester or so. So basically like every 3 months or something. And the mistake that lots of people make whenever they get all this money in their bank account is to spend it right away. But what I'm going to tell you is not to do that, because this money has to last you unless you have a part-time job. But if you don't have a part-time job, this money has to last you all through those 3 months until you get paid again. So I think it's good to try and budget that, or at least try to save it and not spend it all in one go. Another thing that I learned was that McDonald's after a night out makes everything better. So I feel like everyone has their own type of drunk food, basically the type of food that they eat whenever they come home from a night out or they've been drinking. And for me and my friends, it happens to be McDonald's. So basically, no matter where we were, no matter what kind of night that we had, we always ended up at McDonald's, and that would just seemingly make everything better because, you know, food makes everything better. Another important thing that I learned during the school year was that the Students' Union is a great second home during lecture gaps. So as you guys know, I lived at home this year for university, which meant I travelled up and down every day. And one of the problems that I had with that was if I had a lecture gap for a couple of hours, I couldn't just travel home and then go back to class because the travel time was too long. And so I had to find somewhere else to spend all of my time. So I actually found that the Students' Union was a really great place to just sit and hang out for a few hours every day. So the next thing that I learned is something that I think every student learns and knows how to appreciate, and that is student discount. It is really great, but as long as you remember to ask for it, because I don't know how many times I go shopping and I don't ask for student discount, which I really should, because a lot of places do student discounts, and so you should definitely ask for it wherever you can. Okay, so the next thing that I learned is something that I already kind of knew going into university, but didn't actually realize how hard it would be until I was there, and that is keeping in touch with my friends. So this is particularly difficult if all your friends went to different universities and not all to the same one like mine. All of my friends went all around the world for university, and when I say all around the world, I literally just mean over to England, but that's still far away, and it was really hard not to see them every day because, you know, whenever you're at school you see your friends all the time and it's no big deal, but you don't realize just how much you miss them until they're elsewhere in the world, and you don't get to see them that often. So I think it's really important to try and keep in touch with them. Okay, so the next thing that I learned whenever I was at uni might only be something that applies to very few people, but I still felt like I should throw it in there, and that is if Bianca Del Rio asks you on stage to lip sync for your life, you lip sync for your life, okay? Don't even think twice about it, just do it, just get on stage, do your thing, own it, because that's a once in a lifetime opportunity and you gotta take it. Another thing which I think is important to note is that taxi drivers are a lot nicer to you when you're sober. So part of university life is obviously going out to clubs and bars and things like that, and obviously drinking a little bit if that's what you're into. But just know taxi drivers are a lot nicer to you if you're sober and not a drunken mess. I suppose it's probably because they have been dealing with drunk people all night, so it is nice to come across some people that are sober, but taxi drivers are super nice to you when you are. The next two things that I learned kind of go hand in hand and only apply if you're going to one type of party, and that is a foam party. So there were two things that I learned when I went to a foam party during freshers, and that is one, that foam dries your skin out insanely. Literally, whenever I woke up the next day after the foam party, the skin on my face was so dry and disgusting. So that might be something you want to take into consideration before going to a foam party. And the second thing that I learnt when going to a foam party is to always bring a spare change of shoes and socks. It doesn't matter if you bring a change of clothes, because I feel like you could do with walking around in wet clothes, but one thing I could not stand was having wet shoes, because walking in wet squishy shoes is the worst feeling in the world. So yeah, if you're going to a foam party, Warning, it dries out your skin, and also bring extra shoes / socks. And the third thing, if they don't supply them for you, is to bring a sandwich bag for your phone. I know that sounds a little bit silly, but it will protect your phone from the foam. Something else that I learned at uni, which I think a lot of people will enjoy, is that almost every uni event that happens, every event that you get emailed about, every event that you attend, will probably have free pizza. So if you're looking for free food, probably go to a uni event because they always have free pizza. That's literally one of the main selling points for any event that I've seen advertised at uni. There will be free pizza. And if there's not free pizza, there's probably something else that they're giving away free that might entice you, because you know, students really love free things. Another thing that I learned during my first year at uni was to check my email every single day. Literally, since I started going to uni, I check my university email about 50 times a day, and I also check my regular email about the same amount. And yeah, that's just because you get emailed about things from university all the time. Something else that I learned is that yik yak will be the worst thing to ever happen to you. So if you guys don't know what yik yak is, I kind of describe it as anonymous Twitter. So basically what it is that people can post anonymously on a news feed, and it's based on your location. So when you search on your phone, like to bring up the news feed, it is based on your location, so you can see what other people are posting around you, and it's anonymous, and it is very big in universities. And so it is good because you get to know what's going on around university, how students are feeling about something, whether it is to do with exam stress or Game of Thrones spoilers or lectures and things like that. You get to learn from that. One of the reasons why it's a bad thing is that it is very distracting and very tempting to check when you're in a lecture. Okay, so the next thing that I learned during university was something that I actually wasn't expecting to learn, but that is that you do a lot of walking, which is something which I think I should have realized I was going to do whenever I was there, but it wasn't until I actually started going that I realized just how much walking it was and how awful it would be sometimes. And finally, the very last thing that I learned during my first year at uni, and some advice that I can give to all of you guys out there, is to be open to all of the opportunities available to you. So yeah, I have to say, during my first year at university, I was given a lot of opportunities to do things. I always got emails coming through about events that I should attend, like business events, networking events, careers events, all that kind of thing to help with your future. And so I definitely recommend being open to all of those type of things and going to them, because they're really great opportunities that I don't think you'll really get anywhere else. And so it definitely is one of the main benefits for going to university, if I'm honest. And yeah, you should definitely be open to that and take advantage of it while you can. And so yeah, that was everything that I learned during my first year at uni. I'm pretty sure that I learned way more than that. I mean, I know I did for a fact, but those are just the things that I thought of at the top of my head. And so yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys. What the second channel is going to be a place where I'm going to be posting my Sims content from now on. It is basically a Sims only YouTube channel. I might do some other gaming videos on that channel because it'll be game related, but mostly Sims.